Dinosaurs! Yes, is there any other word that conjures up such childlike imagination and wonder? Be they destroying Tokyo by playing fisticuffs with an evil space crab, throwing bananas at carts driven by Italian plumbers, or just trying to simply beat Zerg. Yes, you put a dinosaur in anything and it immediately becomes a million times cooler. Okay, not that. Okay, I'll give you a picture, roll it back.
Especially when I hit my daddy with a frying pan.
Oh. Oh, this week is Jurassic Park 3. I should probably start this review by saying I love the Jurassic Park books. I loved the films growing up, but when I read the books I realised how much wasted potential there really was. Especially with this one, probably my favourite book, The Lost World. You know when your parents say they're not angry, they're just disappointed? Well, I was angry about how disappointed I was that what I got was so far away from what's in here.
Just protecting their baby, so am I. Don't go into the long grass!
Both books are full of rich characters and lavish sequences that, for whatever reason, didn't make their way into their respective films. Leads me quite nicely to Jurassic Park 3. And the questions. Harold.
Eh?
We got any questions?
Oh, I can't find them. Are they in spam?
You've been given the wrong address or something?
I
don't know what you're doing.
I don't think I have. I don't know.
How many have we got?
They were in spam.
How many are about Goldblum?
The majority, I'd say. The majority.
Well, whittle it down. Whittle it down.
I can't whittle it down.
Give me
There's
the first
nothing
one.
left.
The first one. Give me the first one.
Oh, okay. Oh, fine. Here. Okay, this first one is from Shelley Grimes. It says, "Where's my Goldblum?"
Well, first, Shelley, he's not your Goldblum. He belongs to everybody. Secondly, the Ian Malcolm character was scheduled to be in Jurassic Park 3, but apparently a few days into filming, Jeff Goldblum hurt his leg and backed out, claiming he wasn't important to the script anyway. Funny that injury though, isn't it, Jeff? How'd you get it? Just saying.
Oh, there it is.
This one comes from Toby McLean. Says the plot is so contrived. Is that the best that they could come up with?
This comment or argument is always thrown around a lot when talking about the third film. It's such a stupid reason for them to get back on the island. Ask the people who share this belief, what would you have done? How would you have done it differently? And they'd usually stutter and come up with something that makes those crazy Jurassic Park 4 rumours sound like something Christopher Nolan has spent 10 years developing. Michael Crichton, the writer of both the books, did spend some time with the filmmakers trying to drum up an idea, but left when he couldn't come up with anything. So yes, we do get the search and rescue with Eric, which is a bit of a twist on the reason they go in the second film, but admittedly it is very similar. One of the first ideas for the third film came from Spielberg, who came up with Sam Neill's character, Alan Grant, living in a treehouse on one of the islands, researching the dinosaur population.
Don't worry, Ian. I'm not making the same mistakes again.
No, you're making all new ones.
Another early idea had a bunch of teenagers get stranded on Isla Sorna. No Sam Neill, no Jeff Goldblum. Instead, we'd get this chompy fucker chasing the Olsen twins around for an hour and a half. One actually interesting early idea for the film featured a lot of elements from the books. Pterodons escaped the island and made their way to the mainland. It's a little bit more believable in the books because it's the compies that do this, because I mean, come on, who's missing that? These pterodons then cause havoc, which is investigated by a team led by Alan Grant. This research team then crash lands into Isla Sorna, where presumably all hell breaks loose from there. Instead, in the film, we get Eric here on a secret dino spotting journey with his stepfather until the boat is attacked by fog? Dino fog? There are variations of the script that reveal it was a pterodon as they discover footprints near the wrecked boat.
I'm gonna get you close, my friend, but not too close, eh? You don't wanna be eaten.
Eaten.
He did. But to sum up, yes, the plot is quite thin in this film and it's kind of a rehash of the other two, but I think of this one, especially in the trilogy, the plot is really secondary to what it wants to deliver, and that is action scenes and dinosaurs in abundance.
This one's from Steve McIntosh. It says, how can you like this film? It's full of bad lines and awful acting.
This film is full of bad lines that are pretty damn corny as well, but it's the performances of people like William H. Macy and Sam Neill in particular.
That's the dinosaur man.
Dinosaur man.
Oh, Sam. To my generation, that's exactly what you are. They kind of act as to support the skeleton the rest of the film is built around. But without any further ado, let's go into the top 5 bad or just plain corny lines of this film.
I shot this the morning they disappeared.
Duh, Leone. You are useless. You should have died in this. You are so useless.
It's gonna be a walk in the park.
Walk in the Jurassic Park.
It's Tom again. He says he has to talk to you about the last chapter.
Just tell him I'm not going to lose a Jack Horner quote.
Jack Horner. More like Jack Shoehorner.
It's a birdcage.
For what?
Get her back, Mr. Kirby.
Okay, that was a bit flat, Sam. Do you want to try that again?
Get her back, Mr. Kirby.
Okay, this one's from Alison Stevenson. It says in the first 2 films, the dinosaurs were quite monotonal. Here it looks like they've been coloured in by a child who's found all colours in a box.
Yes, but this isn't Jurassic Park and it's not The Lost World. It's a completely different film in the franchise. It's well within its right to have its own artistic style. If anything, I would argue that it kind of fits in with the canon of the series, that these genetic mutants change as they breed. The change in the velociraptors was prompted by scientific discovery, finding that they actually had feathers. They did tone it down for the film, because as it turns out in real life, velociraptors were more like big, beefy, violent turkeys. I'm not saying these creatures don't deserve a film of their own. Maybe with the Olsen twins.
The next one is from Neil Raja. It says the Tyrannosaurus gets killed. What the? WTF? What's that mean?
Yes, he does. But not before making a hilarious entrance into this film.
It's okay, it's dead.
The new big boy on the island is Spinosaurus aegypticus, and he is awesome. I believe at the time he was the largest animatronic ever built, weighing in at over 10 tons. And these physical effects make the dinosaurs just seem so imposing and tangible. They did use some CG, but the physical effects are still what makes this series great. The whole boat sequence and underwater scenes were filmed on a hydraulic dinosaur, which is an amazing feat in engineering. This thing was deadly. If you watch the making of the first film, you'll realise how much of a problem getting these things wet was. When the T-Rex got wet, it would develop a bad case of the shakes, and have to be fanned down like a southern belle with a bad case of the vapors. The Spinosaurus is a great addition to the series, and I just think he's cool. There's an old adage that says a villain must have a strong silhouette. Boy, does this guy have one of those. My favourite part of this new dinosaur is this scene.
On the plane. I got a call on the plane and...
What? What?
I loaned it to Nash. He must have had it when he...
What? In the first film, the walking of the T-Rex causes tremors and the water to ripple, and this guy gets to hear, and it's as if no one hears a blade of grass bend. I just imagine him on tiptoe.
This one is from Brent Vick. It says the part of this film that really lost me was the end where Dr. Grant calls Dr. Sattler. We're meant to believe it's morning as Barney is on and she's kissing her husband away to work. Yet the time difference between the 2 places would be an hour, 2 max.
Really? This bit? Barney time differential arses you off? Maybe... No, you know what? Forget it. No.
This one comes from Phil Rumpton. It says, don't you just want to hit Billy?
Sort of. Yeah. Look at that face. So too much teeth. The Billy character does serve a purpose, but in the end it comes across as trying to make me care about someone who really isn't that important. I mean, come on. The guy who got eaten off the toilet in the first film had a bigger role. Toilet roll. But the script doesn't really help him. I mean, just look at this scene. It's utterly superfluous filler. It's just Billy flirting with Cheryl here. Oh, you won't get that name from the film. She isn't in it anymore after this. I got her character name from IMDb. Apparently this role did land the actress the part of Woman 2 in a film called Pig. A better name for this character would have been Pointless Annoying Woman number 1. Would you like to see Pointless Annoying Woman number 2? Outstanding. Most versions of this script did have Billy dying due to the events in the aviary, but apparently the actor kicked up a fuss to the director Joe Johnson, and Billy survived the events of the film. Alright Joe, I've seen the script, I've got a problem. I was reading it, I realised I'd die at the end. I'm not happy with that. I don't know, Mrs. Navola. I think you dying only adds to the gravitas of the film's ending. Hey! Don't fucking talk to me like that. I was Joey Z in Time Code. My character is surviving. Oh, okay. You convinced me. I loved you in Time Code. And how do they find him at the end? They get on the beaches and magically Billy's in the helicopter? But it led to Sam Neill getting his hat back, and as we all know...
Well, that's the important thing.
Okay, this one comes from Dustin. Doesn't have a last name. Doesn't like share. It just reads, how would you make this film any better, you long-haired get? I've read a lot of arguments and I've got my own feelings on this. The main thing that I would do is that I would have the Kirbys tell Dr. Grant why they want to go to the island during the bar scene. It would have sparked a moral conflict in Grant and really given Billy more to do, as he'd have to convince him to go. As it is, the whole fooling thing kind of comes off as incidental in the final film. I wish they would have done more with Grant's relationship with Dr. Sattler, his feelings on losing her. He's got nothing left, he's desperate to show something, he's desperate to prove something, so he goes anyway. Grant's whole arc in the first film is that he goes from a guy who hates kids to being like a father figure to Lex and Tim. So helping find Eric would show how much Grant has grown throughout the series. Kind of brings me on to the ending, and this is probably the part of the film that I like least. I personally can't think of a better way off the island, but still... I really don't think a paleobotanist is going to garner the attention of the Navy and the National Guard, the same people who refused to help the Kirbys earlier in the film. So in the end we get this flat homage to the first film. With all that being said, Jurassic Park 3 is still a fun, no-nonsense, enjoyable theme park ride of a film. Yes, it's short and it's flawed, but the director clearly knew what kind of film he wanted to make, and I believe he delivered on it. It's sprinkled with some good acting and some great effects, and although I may be in the minority, I love this film. So I'm going to go into the top 10 reasons why Jurassic Park 3 is alright in my book. Number 10. It is actually an innovative way to get them back on the island. It's better than most alternatives. Number 9.
Alan.
Him. Simply him. Number 8. It led to Operation Genesis, a great PS2 game. Number 7. The action and the effects. Number 6. The aviary. Especially this cheeky little bugger. Number 5. William H. Macy. Number 4. The scale and the pace. The script doesn't have the depth in character and doesn't stress on the weak ones too much. Number 3. The Raptors. Number 2. Sam Neill.
This is how you play God.
And number 1. The Spinosaurus. So, thanks for watching another edition of the Minority Report. Be sure to check out our Facebook page. Check out the blog. And next week we'll be doing... Harold, what are we doing? Eh? I don't know.
You not picked it.
Oh yeah, you did tell me to. I've been watching Marty Ducks.
Van Helsing. We're doing Van Helsing. So if you've got any questions about Van Helsing, make sure to get them into Drop It. And I'll see you next time.
Now extinct. Some were big, some were small. What animal do you think? Do the dinosaurs stop with your feet? Roar! Do It's a brand new beginning.